This right here is my catnip. Orbit reached.
Annihilate them!
Grab's not functional. Lost the grab drive.
Catnip. Orbit reach.
Dust is all. All you will be.
Orbit reach.
Annihilate them. Failure can't complete you.
Cabinet. Orbit reach. We're locked in and landing.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot.
Yes? That is all? Very well.
Prepare for liftoff. We're in orbit, Captain.
I think I prefer the wild planets to this city. At least there, the predators are easier to spot.
That your ship that landed not too long ago?
What is it?
Yes? You needed something?
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the Orient. Mission Hall, or continue on.
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse. sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
The exodus from Earth meant more than just the beginnings of the United Colonies. But still, a tremendous undertaking.
You here to enlist? Don't worry, none of this junk is on the exam.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more: independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
I am beginning to find this presentation reductive and annoying.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Janan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Va'ruun in the name of their Serpent God. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir Jarek that House Va'ruun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Va'ruun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Va'ruun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Nerion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs. Even bioengineered alien creatures. The infamous UC xenoweapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
I suspect many in the Freestar Collective would take issue with the way the colony war is represented here.
Were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
I bring her here almost every day to stare at this thing.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the designated simulation pod to initiate your exam.
You could not pay me enough to get in one of those things.
This is the Mark 18 flight simulation chamber, applicant. Currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
New targets active. All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 1 reached. Initiating Tier 2. New targets active. All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 2 reached. Initiating Tier 3. New targets active.
At least try to defeat us. All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 3 reached.
Congratulations, applicant. You've defeated sufficient opponents to pass the exam. You may now exit the simulator through the hatch to record your current score, or stay and try your hand at the remaining tiers.
Shutting down.
Congratulations, applicant. You've passed. You can head up to Commander Tuwala to receive your final results and your probationary assignment. or you're welcome to take another run at the simulation if you'd like to try and earn a better score. We'll only keep your best run.
Those on official United Colonies business can access.
Well, look who's back. Everything go all right with the exam? Or did you have some questions you needed answered first? Ah, so these are your numbers that just came through then. You ready to hear how you did? Then let's get to them. So, looking at the data, checked out a few of the murals. Good. A test of preparation and thoroughness. 2 traits the Vanguard values highly. Psychological results are all within expected levels. Navy doesn't have room for folks that'll fall apart the first time they're trying to outrun a homing missile. Now, how'd you do against your foes? All right, clear Tier 3. We try to set a high bar, so that's no small feat. Nice work.
If I had any reservations about flying with you, they are now gone. Well done.
So then, looking at your results as a whole, and presuming you're successful in completing your probationary mission, you could have your UC citizenship after only 10 years service. Better than your average lab rat or diplomat, but pretty standard for folks going out into combat.
10 years can be a long time. You must be certain it is something you actually care about.
So, sounds to me like we've got Vanguard material on our hands. If you're interested, we could bring you on as a provisional member today. Get you the credits you've earned, then send you out on your probationary mission. First though, all UC service people, provisional or otherwise, are required to swear an oath. So, you want to make this official? Commit yourself to the cause of the colonies? Fantastic. Then just follow me. Wouldn't be right doing this where we couldn't see the stars. Now, raise your right hand. The motto of the Vanguard is Supra et Ultra, above and beyond. That is where we serve, beyond the furthest reaches of the United Colonies military, and with honor and duty above reproach. Do you swear to protect and defend the citizens of the United Colonies to the best of your abilities? And to uphold the values of the Vanguard, honor, loyalty, self-reliance in all your actions as a member of the United Colonies Navy? Then let me be the first to officially welcome you to the United Colonies Vanguard. Now, Only thing left is getting you that probationary mission. And what I've got is comms repair. Group trying to refurb an old colony war processing plant on Tau Ceti 2. Sounds like they'd barely gotten set up when their communications died. Place is as isolated as they come, so Brass wants a vanguard to deliver the repair suite and ensure anyone present is safe and secure. So, can the people of Tau Ceti 2 count on you? That's the spirit. Head down to the spaceport and talk to Crew Chief Harath. He'll get you the repair suite plus your new recruit kit. Oh, and your advance. Give it your all out there. Supra et Ultra.
Any adventure you can fly away from.
If you are free soul, could we talk?
So, I hear you've been making yourself pretty useful around the ship, Cora.
I have, Dad. I want to be as good a co-pilot for the captain as I am for you.
Well, you're doing a great job, Stringbeat. I'm proud of you.
I have been thinking about what we talked about before. The idea of purpose in one's life. You agreed with me that true purpose can be a driving force in life. I found that comforting, but something has been nagging at me since. I have been single-minded in my pursuits. I have always believed the decisions I made were necessary, that there was no other option. I have sacrificed much to be where I am now. And I'm starting to wonder if it has been worth it. I know. I have told you that I am not one to discuss my past. And yet, no, that is not what I am trying to say. I promised to provide for my family. That meant working with smugglers to procure supplies we could not acquire any other way. I have spent my adult life away from my home, jumping from one planet to the next, living in dangerous conditions, often surrounded by violence. We were taught from a very young age that family always comes first, and no price is too great to pay to ensure its survival. I was convinced from the beginning that it was unwise to let anyone get too close. I had, maybe not quite friends, but people I cared about. Yet there was always a distance I could not reach across. I often find other people complicated and confusing. It seemed easier to not become attached, especially when circumstances meant I might never see them again, with no warning. Until now, I have disagreed strongly with that idea. But therein lies my concern. What I am trying to say is that I now wonder whether it has been the right decision to distance myself from others. I appreciate that more than you know.
Yeah, the way you handle things, not bad. Not bad.
Bullet for leeches, get it fixed up, and let her know as soon as we can.
Ah, you are new probationary then? Crew Chief Herat. Pleasure to be working with you.
It's my job to make sure all you rocket jockeys are ready for anything that comes at you up there. Now, Manifest says we're fitting you out with one comms repair suite.
In addition to the standard issue welcome kit all probationary pilots get for their first mission. Med packs, some small arms, couple spare ship parts, all the essentials in case of any surprises up there.
My people will have everything on your ship before you lift off. Won't even know they were there. So, paying a visit to the people of scenic Tau Ceti 2. Nice easy one for your first job. Just keep your head on swivel and you'll come home safe. Any questions before you head out?
Nothing too dangerous, if that's your concern. The repair suite's mostly just wiring and circuit boards. The welcome kit has some goodies in there I wouldn't leave sitting around when company comes to visit. But it's nothing some proper storage can't make safe.
Then I won't keep you.
Make us look good out there, recruit.
I find the interior of this ship comforting.
Ready here. Orders good too. And we're back where we belong. Landing site's clear. All green here.
I thought. Or you've got some incredible timing. Regardless, I think it knows you're here. I'll unlock the door. Second floor, main building. But be quiet.
So what do we got here? Too clean to be one of the settlers. Or a pirate. You see on patrol, maybe? It'd make my day if you said you were a shock trooper out for a stroll. Vanguard, huh? Yeah, I expect they didn't. I'm Hadrian. I was a researcher with the UC. I came here on a rumor of a... Well, I expect you saw the results on your way in. What's left of the settlers? The work of Oxysio Machina. A terramorph. One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths with. And this one, well, it's something of an anomaly. Possibly a worrying one.
A terramorph? Here? Why did you not state that immediately? They are death made manifest.
Suppose that's a pretty good summary. Among apex predators, they're the pinnacle. Resilient, agile, smart, and their mental prowess only increases with age. Some can even dominate the minds of weaker species, keeping them as pets, livestock, or toys. They're creatures without peer. Terramorphs have a unique growth cycle. They're usually only found on worlds that have been long colonized by humanity. But Tao said he's too young to have one. Yet, here it is. I came looking for an explanation and found all this. I managed to scope out a fair bit of the facility before it found me. If there are any survivors of the attack, they're long gone. Makes two of us. But this creature, I need to understand what it's doing here. To do that requires a tissue sample from it, and to get a sample, I need its corpse. But we're not without resources. This plant, it's got an automated security system. Though getting things online, as I've discovered, is not a one-person job. The admin terminal in this building needs its connection reset. And to do that, someone has to get to the security outpost. Across the compound. Not a far walk, but a risky one. You think you might be willing to lend me a hand? The settlers outfitted most of the buildings with turrets at some point. Not sure how many are still operable, but at least a few appeared to be in fighting shape. There were also some sensors scattered around the facility that I didn't recognize. But those are honestly all just educated guesses until we get the connection reset. It's the building in the middle of the facility. The terminal in there should allow you to grant me access to the system as a whole. Then we can see about getting things back online. Admin access is centralized to the terminal in this room. Nothing's coming back online if I'm not here. But even if that weren't the case, I'd likely be more of a liability out there than a help right now. Look, I wouldn't be asking if I thought there was any chance I could handle it by myself. But there's no way I'm getting these defenses live on my own. And I have to get to the bottom of what happened here. Good. Once I see the connection reset, I'll get things underway on my end. Take care of yourself out there. And make sure you leave enough of that thing.
Yes? I keep whatever you give me, yes? That is the deal? Is that it, then? A curious place for an industrial printing operation. There must have been a good incentive for them to locate here.
Connection restored. I'll make this quick. Plant's turrets took a beating, but I should be able to get you a couple of kill lanes. Just get the thing to chase you down the alleys between the buildings, and you'll lead it right into a crossfire. Hello. Wish I'd found this earlier. Those sensors around the facility? Part of a livestock tracking system. Should let you keep tabs on how close the terramorph is. But it's not connected to this network. There should be a terminal in the adjoining room. Tune it to 183.5. Tracker's reading green. What's that sound?
Security lockdown is active.
Shit. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and get in cover. It's on the move. Look with that thing on the move. My advice, tracker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either hiding or... Wait. You did it, didn't you? Heavens above! You just flatlined a terramorph! Oh, yeah. Taken care of. No big deal. You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample, did you? A lot of life gets recorded in our cells. Like, for example, if this terramorph's cells have certain radiation or chemical exposures, it could point to it having been transported on a ship. Then, we could start getting some answers about this thing. So, did you manage to nab one? All right. I spotted a microscope downstairs. Let's see if we can't get to the bottom of this. Older model. Let's see what you can do. Running basic diagnostics. Nothing. Maybe a flag scan? Spectrograph. Damn. This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper analysis of our sample. But this terramorph being here, of all places, it doesn't make sense. Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travels across the stars. Pets, livestock, pests. But terramorphs? They're different. To our knowledge, no one's ever spread them intentionally. Yet somehow, they follow us. So when humans settle a world, 70 to 100 years later, terramorphs tend to just appear. No one knows how or why. Dangerous, but at least predictable. Tau Ceti, though, it's too young to have a native population. It's only been colonized 20 years? But then the other option, that someone captured one of the deadliest predators in the galaxy just to wipe out some settlers minding their own business? That seems awfully implausible. Which means we're either looking at a truly strange murder or a faster type of terramorph growth, the results of which could be catastrophic. Terramorph outbreaks have taken down far bigger colonies than this one. Well, they're not exactly buying tickets and flying coach. The theory is that they're spread by some kind of egg or seed that's able to evade our detection. But how the hell an undetectable egg turns into a terramorph without anyone noticing is a question no one's ever found an answer to. And it's why what's happened here could be real bad news for the rest of human civilization. They have. They even took down an entire city once. A place called Londinian had to be quarantined due to a massive outbreak during the Colony War. It's the only known loss of that scale, but it's the reason why any change in our relationship with these creatures needs to be taken very seriously. You're right. We don't have enough information. Time was, I had access to one of the best repositories of terramorph research in the galaxy. Seems a natural place to start looking, if I can figure how to access it. But we also need to get this sample properly analyzed, get confirmation on just how concerned we should be. Luckily, I think I know just the person to help with the sample. What would you say to delivering this to him for me? I'd do it myself, but I need to call in some favors. See if I can't get access to that terramorph data. Plus, maybe just pop by a hospital for a little bit. Clear it with your commander first if you have to. You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sanan is worried there could be more attacks on the horizon. They should recognize the name. I was. Long time ago. Family tradition. But I know some of the folks from my old unit moved into the Vanguard. A couple even owe me favors. If I'm lucky, your commander is one of them. Oh, you don't understand what a weight off my shoulders that is. I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for this thing. Full workup. I'm not sure exactly where to find him, but last I heard he was contracting with the Trade Authority on Mars. There's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. A bar run by some old friends. I'll meet you and Percival there. And here. It's not exactly a bounty, but... Now please, go check in with your...
Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we bring with us and what we leave behind. Or sell. Or throw away.
back in our own ship.
up and away. Nothing like hitting orbit.
Look who's back. All set with that probationary mission? We can do your debrief and formally welcome you into the Vanguard. A terror? What? How did you walk away with the terramorph tissue sample running comms repairs? What happened to the settlers? A gene tag? Let me see that. Sanan. I know that name. Let me check the database. Huh. A lot of this data's been classified. Here we go. Service record. Wow. That's a lot of commendations. Seems like she served with distinction as co-head of a UC Xenoweapons division. Faced tribunal at the end of the Colony War. And was dismissed from duty. Guess that's why I'd heard the name before. If she's former Xeno warfare, though, well, we can at least be sure she knows her aliens. I'm sure she doesn't list it at the top of her resume. But considering her service record and her area of expertise, I'm not seeing a reason to think this request is anything other than genuine. Did your survivor, Hadrian, did she mention why she thinks this sample's so special? I see. Well, this is one of the more surprising debriefs I've ever been a part of. But if Hadrian Sanan thinks this sample needs to get to Mars, then we're gonna make sure it gets to Mars. I'll take care of the clearances and ensure you get your credits. Consider these your first in here, so everyone knows you're working with the Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications. You'll be cleared for now, if it wasn't...
Hey, be careful not to point that.
Hey, I need to talk with you. Hey. I'm glad I finally caught up with you. I'm from the Trackers Alliance. We have a proposal for you. What? Oh, got it. You're trying to make a joke. Emphasis on trying. Yes, it's a proposal. No, not that kind of proposal. The Trackers Alliance has been following your exploits and believe you have what it takes to join our ranks. You're being invited to our new headquarters in Aquila City. There you'll meet with Agent Number 1. If you decide to consider our offer, they'll guide you through. I suppose we will. I'll be heading out soon if there's nothing more.
To its old ways. I suspect this soul system would be...
Careful near the railing. It's on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
Do you imagine anyone actually enjoys living here? I simply cannot.
Just because the governor's office is right there on the main level doesn't mean it's not secure.
Hey, you looking for anything in particular? Yo, hey, what's up? You looking to do some shopping here at the Trade Authority? I'm Manaki. Feel free to ask me anything and I'll do my best to help you out. Oh man, I'm still new here, so I don't know how qualified I am to answer that. We're like this huge network of shipping and trade throughout the known universe. Everyone. Free Stars, UC, even Varun uses us in some capacity. Because I guess we're all about free trade for all. Yo, I wouldn't be surprised if we bought and sold from the Crimson Fleet, right? They pay my salary, so as far as I'm concerned, they're all right in my book. Yo! This dude came in once trying to sell this whack-looking fish or something. It was still alive. He had it in this big plastic bag full of water and everything. Good size, too. I was trying to tell him I didn't know if we took in things like that, but then my boss came over and told me we absolutely did. And I had to process the sale and store the thing. Man, what a pain in the ass that was. Even weirder, someone came in and bought it like right away. The hell's that about, right? Man, sorry, I can't really say that. Really, they told me not to say anything like that because rumors, you know? All I know is that we're running a business here, and I was told to take in all trades. And listen, I'm not... Cool. That's what... Come back anytime.
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh. Not here for a delivery, are you?
Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain, but Dr. Walker has been missing for some time.
A shame, too. We had such high hopes for Percival. I brought him on myself to do medical and biological consulting around the city. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had the potential to become a whole new type of revenue stream for our branch. I invested no small amount of personal capital into the endeavor. But then he decided to run off after a discipline issue. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of cracks on this old rock. But at this point, it's probably for the best. That's correct. We're no longer interested in Dr. Walker's services. He did leave his post, however, with a sizable debt to his name. If you were to find him and get him to pay, the Trade Authority would be most grateful for it.
Just this one time? I am all too aware that once one starts doing favors for the Trade Authority, it can be difficult to stop. Yes, not everything needs to be a transaction.
Pity. Perhaps a little advance on my part might pique your interest. Visit the Sixth Circle, a bar on the lowest level of the city. If someone in Sidonia knows where Percival is, you'll find them there.
Don't be caught on the Martian surface without proper protective gear. All outside surface activities require the use of a certified safety suit.
Be careful down near the mines and enter any active.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for Devil's vets and their kin. Doc Walker? Well, you're barking up the wrong...
Andy, you. Why don't you come here and tell me what some Vanguard captain wants with Walker? Stray topsider wanders into my bar asking after a man like Percival Walker. Raises questions. What do you want with him? Is that so? Well, Captain, then you should have no problem answering a few simple questions about the Vanguard, right? Like knowing, for example, what Supra et Ultra means. You remember? Your Vanguard motto? I see. And tell me, what grade was it you got on your entrance exam? A? C? D+? Yeah, sure you did. Sorry, can't help you. Stop! Even if I did know where he was, I'm not telling some stray I don't know from a... Huh. Maybe there is something you can do. Percival's got this debt put on him by the Trade Authority. You make that go away, prove you're a friend of him and the rest of us devils, and... well, I'm always inclined to help a friend. Red Devils were the meanest Marine unit the UC Navy ever had. Couldn't get in if you hadn't done at least one stint as a Martian Dusty. Made us tough, reliable. It's why they chose us as the handlers for the UC xeno-weapons. No other unit could handle that pressure. Percival, though, he wasn't a grunt like all of us. Science officer. Made sure the monsters behaved themselves around the Devils, and didn't with everyone else. But it was those monsters that did us in. When the colony war ended and the armistice came down, everything associated with xeno-weapons got shelved, Red Devils included. Now they're just a memory. Well, most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just saunter up to the Authority and pay him direct, if you've got credits to throw away. Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records and collections files on a central server inside their storeroom. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to something a little more reasonable, say a few hundred credits, I'd be happy to cover the costs.
Crossing the Trade Authority could be perilous. There are real stakes here.
And I look forward to hearing the good news.
Hey, you. Maybe a bounty hunter? Come here. Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker? Oh, no, I mean, I've got my suspicions, but look, you're planning to help Percival, right? Yeah, sure. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any B&E. Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we've been working on some, at least when he wasn't slaving away at his trade authority. But we stumbled on a way to make it useful. You give our research over to Octai at the Trade Authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's... Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out.
Oh, I know what comes next.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the Trade Authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mine. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to sleep. Biggest employer on Mars has always been Deimos Star Yards. After the Colony War, armistice meant they needed a lot fewer warships. Fewer ships meant fewer minerals. That meant a lot of folks scrounging for work around here. Oh, yeah. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's not far. Shouldn't even need to hop back in your ship. We'd set up right near the main drill. Taking out the spacer leader should get the message across to the rest of them to buzz off. Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel, and I can walk you through finishing the research. Wouldn't put it past the Authority for a second to have clued off the spacers to get back at us.
네?
Of their life, I'm telling you. I ate some once and was sick for a week.
What's the word, Jack? I heard you were having a problem with the customer.
Nothing I could.
Yeah?
What's up?
This is getting old.
Might be time for a change.
Ended up drinking himself under the table. Woke up a few hours later. Yeah, don't be back.
Well, let me know if you ever show up to space again. I'll make it clear he's not welcome.
Give it a rest.
There's nothing like fresh air filters, am I right?
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. Oktay Enbayar. He's the head of our Sidonia branch. If you want to do some trading, he's the one you need to be talking to. I'm busy. And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? Whoa, way too hot for me. That stuff is nothing but bad news. Why don't you take your shipment and try...
If the Trade Authority is not interested...
No, they're right. What they didn't tell you is that I have a self-preservation streak a kilometer wide. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unlock.
Just demand the extra credits up front next time. These games are juvenile and...
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Go. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest. Oh, and it's been a...
Have my attention.
How's it going? Can I help you?
It's my personal savings. Start some fights.
Excuse me?
Conspiracy theories about the colony wars. I know it took us bait.
Do your part to keep Sidonia graffiti free.
Not everyone needs to come to me with their problems. I'm a psychiatrist.
I've warmed up to Mars since I came here. Unless you're a Deimos.
Sergeant Booth at your service. If you have a security-related concern, bring it up to me. As much as someone's last name is a nickname, friends, acquaintances, and other locals call me Booth. You can call me Sergeant Booth. Well, it ain't drugs if that's what you're worried about. You'll notice it happens to minors and anyone else that's been down in the red. Nothing to worry about any more than anyone else around here. Used to be a son. They ain't as badass as they think they are. And any that do have a chip. Not if I've got anything to say. For real though. I don't know if it's because we get the occasional drunken brawl. Stay out of trouble.
Hello there. Do I know you? How odd that we both thought we knew each other. I'm Leona Hawks, Deimos Star Yard's corporate liaison. Anyone who deals with our office likely deals with me at some point. I suppose I'll be seeing you around. We've been contracted with the UC for decades to provide military-focused crafts for the entire fleet. It makes sense that they trust us, as Deimos is the oldest standing ship manufacturer in the settled systems. We were responsible for some of the major advancements in grav drive technology since the early days of its existence, so our legacy is strong.
It's still remarkable to me that we started on another planet.
I coordinate between Deimos Corporate and the other operations, such as the Star Yard itself, and the mining operations here on Sidonia. Deimos Star Yards Corporation is a complex entity, given that the different divisions have different goals and priorities. My job is to make sure those are all in alignment. Take care.
Well, that's enough for today, shall we?
Yes, let's.
Let me just finish sending this.
Yeah? Not something you want to say too loud now, but good work.
Be on your guard in the mine. The comms
The red eyes are some badge of honor, I take it?
Was there something else? Do you now? Let me take a look. That's not the number I remember. But here. I expect this won't be a great...
You have my thanks. Oh, and if you do find him...
Percival's going to be real glad to have that weight off his shoulders.
Yeah? It's done, eh? My end of the... He's holed up and the place was sealed up tight after the UC. Good you're going in there, actually. Don't expect he'd run out before... Yeah, the passkey.